Go with the last chance that we have to stop Keystone XL. It turns out that it's going to be, and certainly one of the things that has been really interesting in these pipeline fights has been the alliance made between what we typically think of environmentalists and basically farmers and people who have a problem with eminent domain. And here is Nebraska farmer Art Tanderup basically rejecting Sandra Smith. And to be fair, is she a weekend host? I think so. Talking point about Keystone XL. This, of course, was Saturday, which I believe it was on Saturday, but it was in response to protests for Earth Day that were taking place on Saturday, and or the science marches. Here we go.
This type of fossil fuel should not be happening, and it doesn't matter where it's at. We need to look for other sources of renewable energy. We would
like
fight it wherever it was.
Those that support the Keystone Pipeline, like the president, say that this is the best economic and the best solution for the native plants and the animals of these areas, considering it's a lot less dangerous than transporting this fuel by rail. What do you say to that?
Well, I say to that, when something is out of sight and underground, and when TransCanada's fancy detection system doesn't work most of the time, it's much more dangerous because you don't always know when those leaks happen. A year ago, there was a leak discovered up north of Yankton, South Dakota, near the town of Freeman. That leak has probably been leaking for 6 or 7 years because it was a very small leak, and thousands and thousands and thousands of barrels of tar sands and chemicals were leaked in.
But then let me ask you, what's the solution? Because we all want to achieve energy independence in this country, and this was an effort and a step in that direction. How do you achieve that?
Well, first of all, this is an American, this is not American oil, and it is going across America.
But it's coming from Canada rather than the Middle East, would be the argument.
That's
not
true.
Energy independence,
but it's going across America to be refined and exported, which is not, which is not for America's use. If they do not mix some high-quality crude with this to refine it, the best they get is poor-grade diesel fuel, which we can't even burn in this country.
Well, you are opening the door to so many controversial discussions that would take all day to get there. But we definitely wanted to hear your story. At the very least, this affects you. It runs through your family's farm, through your own backyard. And there's 90 other landowners talking about this. But still, there is fierce thoughts on the other side of this, that this is the best thing for this country. But we love to hear your story as well. Art, thank you.
Wow.
You know what I love about that clip?
Weekend, man. Weekend host at Fox. Like, you watch Fox during the week, and you're like, wow, these people are stupid. But they're smooth about it.
Yeah. So, whoa.
She's like stupid and not very smooth about it. There is fierce thoughts on the other side about this. And it would take all day for me to even have a vague understanding of what we've been saying.
I don't even know where to begin.
Conversation.
Her whole final thing there was all just, I want to put out this idea that, in case anyone disagrees with you, that I could have disputed all those points that you just made that I didn't say anything to, but we don't have time, so I'm just going to minimize you as some bumpkin farmer that you're caring about your land.
Which
Good
is
for you.
great, though. What's great about it is that this whole brand is built on that they're in Midtown Manhattan, the voice of the heartland. And then as soon as they get, like, you can't get any more a farmer from Nebraska, man.
Right.
And then they just treat him with, like, such casual contempt as he's trying to protect his livelihood.
She might just have resting bitch face. It might not be casual contempt.
That was what the farmer said after. He said, I'm not going to take this personal. I think you just have resting bitch face.
She looked angry. I don't know who that person
I think
is.
she was just mad
in Fox
because,
mode.
like, why didn't any of my producers tell me that I would actually have to know what we're talking about?
I thought
I
I was
had my
talking to
questions,
a farmer.
and I'm supposed to respond? Isn't Canada energy independence?
Well, see, now that you're taking it that far, that would require her to be smarter, I think, than a lot of the Fox.
She knew, like,
day
oh,
people.
God, I've been set up.
Well, yeah,
I've
that's
been set
smarter
up
than
here.
the usual Fox
This was
people because
supposed to
they're
be
just like
a friendly interview. He's a farmer, for God's sakes. Hey, folks, the Majority Report YouTube page is in a bit of a crisis right now because of changes in their algorithms. Our YouTube revenue has been clobbered. We need your help. Just a couple of bucks a month would really help us out and keep this channel going. Head over to our Patreon page to find out more information. The URL is right here.